Hello everybody. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to talk about phrasal verbs. Yes! Yay! Everyone's favorite part of learning the English language. I'm gonna try to make it a little simple, a little easier for you and explain some of them. Obviously, with all the phrasal verbs that exist, there's like thousands of them. We could be here for hours, probably even days or weeks, but we're not going to do that because I would go crazy and so would you. So today we're just going to focus on the phrasal verbs that go with the verb to come, and then I'm going to tie it in with the phrasal verb work out. Doesn't make sense right now, but you'll see what I'm going to try to do at the end. Okay, so I'm a super visual learner, so it helps me to write everything out and to kind of see everything when I'm studying. So my suggestion when you're trying to study these is to make a little chart like this. So can you see it okay? So putting the root verb here and then the phrasal phrases that go with it out of it like this. So you can see it like this. So we're going to talk about, with the verb to come, we're going to talk about come back. Sorry if it's like upside down. Come along, come across, as, come across, come up with, and come up. So you'll see with these two here, come across, as, and come up with, and come up, the with and the as are going to change the definition of the verb entirely. So when you guys, all my English learners out there, forget your prepositions, this is why they're super important. So as hard as the phrasal verbs are, I know the prepositions are even harder. So I'm going to try to give you some tricks to know like which ones go with when you're using the verbs, but super important just to show you why. So let's get started. So we're going to start with the verb to come back. So I'm going to translate it into Spanish just so you understand the meaning that I'm going for here, because sometimes the verbs have different meanings. I'm going to try to not give you too many and confuse you, but depending upon where you are, so whether it's Britain or America or Canada or Australia or even different places in America, they use the verbs differently, and in different contexts, they have different meanings. So if you get confused, don't be discouraged or anything. You're doing fine. Okay, so come back. In Spanish, the translation is volver. There's really no other use for it in English. So we would use it to describe when you're returning. So returning would be another like synonym for come back. So you're at point A, and then you go to another point B, and then you're going to come back to point A. So you're returning, you're coming back from another place. So from here would be your preposition, your conjunction that you need to put with come back. So you're coming back from a place. So it's always going to be from a place after. So for example, when does she come back from her trip? When does she come back from holiday or vacation? Or where is Tom? Oh, he went to the store. Oh, do you know when he's going to come back? I need his help with something. So depending on how you want to use it, it's just to return from a place. And if you're going to put anything after it and not be asking a question, or he's coming back, you're going to use from after it. So from a place. One other side note that just occurred to me is that you could say, when is he coming back? You could say, oh, he is coming back soon, or he is coming back on Monday. So you could also say the time after it, or this is specify when. So with time, we know at a time. So he is coming back at 10 o'clock in the morning. Or on a specific day. So he is coming back on Monday. And then we use a month. You could say he's coming back next month or in February. So he's coming back in February. So depending on how you want to use it, sorry if I'm confusing you, we're going to have from a place. So come back from a place. Come back at a specific time. So come back at 10 a.m. Come back on a specific day. So come back on Monday. Or come back next week, next month, next year. Or come back soon. So your adverbs of frequency can also follow come back. All right, I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, leave me a little comment and I will try to clarify. Okay, let's continue. Come along. So in Spanish, you have two different uses for it, which like we do in English, which would be aparecer, so to appear, or to salir. So sorry for my accent. By the way, I know you guys are probably going to laugh at the way I say things in Spanish, but that's okay. You say it funny too in English. So, come along. So, we'll start with the first one, to appear. So, normally something comes along. So, for example, a new job opportunity. So, this new job opportunity came along and I decided to take it. So, normally it's going to be a noun and then come along. So, or until she came along, I was very lonely. Or until this person came along, there was no arguments in the house, and now she came along and there's a lot of fighting. So someone or something can come along. So I'll give you another example just in case. So until the coronavirus came along, we were able to go outside whenever we wanted to. So until this thing appeared, until it happened, something else was going on. So person or thing can come along. That's one definition. The second definition, which is to like go out or to join, is when you're trying to invite somebody to join whatever event is going on. So imagine you and your friends are planning to go to the movies, or you're planning to go out to dinner and you want to invite someone else. So you say, "Hey, Mary, we're going to the movies on Friday night. Would you like to come along?" So, or would you like to join is another way to say it, and join is super commonly used with younger, at least my generation, younger people. Hey, you want to join? That's another slang way, at least in America. I don't know how those British people do it, to ask somebody to come. So, come along. Would you like to come? Basically, would you like to come along? It's kind of like a casual way of inviting somebody to something. All right. Next one. Come across as and come across. So, come across as is in Spanish to parecer. So, to seem like. So, normally you're using this when you're trying to describe how a person is or was in a specific situation. So it can be both like describing someone in their like a temporary state or a more permanent state. But normally you're trying to describe their personality. So therefore, after come across, you're going to need an adjective. So, for example, you meet somebody new for the first time and somebody asks you what they were like. and you say, oh, she came across as very nice, or she didn't come across as being very nice. So to describe how the person was. So that's a more permanent state of how somebody is. Now, a temporary state, for example, could be, imagine somebody gave a presentation or they're giving a speech. So the president is giving a speech, and you could say, oh, he didn't come across as very intelligent. So, or she did come across as very intelligent, or she came across as very knowledgeable in her subject. So that person might always be very intelligent, but you're describing it in that specific context, so a more temporary situation. Whereas the other one, when you meet somebody and you're describing their personality, that personality is something that somebody always has. But regardless of the situation, always after come across, it's an adjective. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, without the as, if we drop the as off and we just use come across, that is to happen to find something. So Spanish, I think this would be encontrar algo. So it's only something, not someone. Okay? We have another way to say that for when you happen to find somebody, which is to bump into. So bump into and come across are essentially in this way the same, but come across you're using it with something, bump into you're using it with someone. So come across. So I'm on my computer and I'm doing some research and I came across an article about phrasal verbs. So you weren't planning to find that thing, but you happened to find it. So you happened across it or you came across it. So I was in the store and I came across this new book that is really good. So you came across it. Or you're cleaning your room and you came across an old t-shirt that you had been looking for. So you come across something. So after that something is going to be a thing, a noun. All right? Hope that makes sense. Last two things are we have come up with and come up. So come up with, you're going to come up with something. So your definition in Spanish is ocurrirse. So something comes up with. So this one is really common with come up with money. So I can't come up with the money right now. Or I can't come up with any ideas for the project. So again, with come up with, you're going to use it normally with something afterwards. So a noun again. So have you come up with the answer to the problem yet? So has it occurred to you? Have you figured it out? So what's another example? Or I came up with the idea to make these videos to explain phrasal verbs. Or Albert Einstein came up with many revolutionary ideas that changed science. Or anything like that. So you come up with normally an idea or a thing. So back to the money situation. I don't know how, but she came up with the money to buy a new car. So you come up with it. So you somehow invent it, find it, and you have it after. Now, if we drop the with and we just have come up, that would be like something surgir. So something just happened. So something came up and I can't come to the party anymore. Or something's come up, so we have to postpone, we have to change the date of the meeting. Or something's come up. So normally in that situation, it's something's happened that's changed something. All right. I hope that helps a little bit with come. Again, if you have questions, leave me a comment. Okay, now I've told you I was going to tie it into work out. I'm only going to tie it into one way with workout because this video is starting to get a little long. What I'm going to show you now with all of these, important. Come, back, all of these, there's a space in between them. So it's come and then back. So they're two words. Now, what happens if I erase everything? Okay, okay. It's a really bad erasing job. Alright, so what happens now if I take the verb come back and I write it as one word, right? This is just a little side note for you, right? Now it's not two words, it's one word, and no longer is it a verb, it's now a noun. So when you're writing them, also make your writing legible, because when you put them together, it has a totally different meaning. This meaning here is to come back from something. So it's the noun of returning. So it's not she is returning, it's the return. So her come back from something. So you can have it as a return to activity or to popularity here. So the return here. So the singer come back was amazing. Or after the scandal, she made a good comeback. So normally you make a comeback too. That's the other thing. Or an athlete has an injury and they come back to the sport after that injury. So another use. All right, the other one, it could be like a funny reply or a smart reply. So imagine you're joking with your friends and you make a comeback. So it's like somebody says something to you and you say something more insulting, or you say something back at them and you make it's a comeback. So I can't think of any examples right now. So I'll try to think of an example. All right. It could also be in sports. You have the one team is losing, and they all of a sudden, after the second half, they start to win. They made a comeback. So make a comeback. Mostly, all I need you to take away from this is that when you write it together, it becomes something different. Why am I tying that in with workout? Because the same thing happens with workout. The phrasal verb, work out, when it's separate, has many different meanings, which we're not going to talk about here. But when I write work out together, it becomes a noun just like come back, and it means exercise. It means all the activity you've done for exercise. So one definition of to work out is to do exercise, and the other, the noun work out when it's together, is just exercise itself. So to exercise and exercise. So do you like to work out? Yeah, I love to work out. I worked out yesterday, or I'm going to work out. So, or this is my workout. So I wrote a workout to do at the gym. So that thing, the plan, whether it's running or boxing or bicycling or swimming, those are all workouts. So it's just a synonym for exercise. Most important thing here with both of these is that when you write them together, it becomes a noun and it means something different. So you have a phrasal verb. These two are tied together, but this one not so much. Just keep that in mind, your spelling and how you write everything. All right, I'm going to stop there because we've gotten to almost 20 minutes now of me talking. I hope that this clarified a little bit for you. Obviously, as you can see, I spent 20 minutes just talking about the verb to come and all the different ones. So there's lots of them. If you have any specific questions about one of them, or if you want me to make a video for some specific verbs, let me know and I'll make videos for those ones to help you. I'm going to try to make some other ones too, but let me know if there's any specific ones. Okay, I'm talking too much now. All right, happy learning. Bye.